Welcome to another week of the Irish Fantasy Punts. Welcome into the live stream. Dan, Shane, Jamie with you for another week. We're going to talk some fantasy football. Week 9 horrors and joys. Week 10 previews. Our trade of the week. And I think we'll just wrap it up with questions throughout the show then. What else is to go do there, guys?
Jamie has to go get a box of tissues for all his tears that are eliminated from the playoffs this week.
My tears have gone a long time ago. Let's call a spade here. Anyway, it was gone weeks ago. I have been kind of sick.
Eliminated so
and like it's not from a lack of trying. Do you know any worse trying to get back into it? Like, but the last 2 weeks I was very close to actually getting 2 wins, and if I got 2 wins, I still be with a chance. But nah, I think we can kind of single-handedly say I'm gone now. But this week now, I got my trades in this week. So I've Elliot and Samuel back this week now. So could be a run for the playoffs.
I think it's a bit of a thing. Like as you said, you only got your trade in this week. I think if you do have a bad start to the season, I don't think you can wait as long as what you waited this year to try blow it up and get a few trades in to try and change it around. I think if you're in any sort of a redraft or keeper, where we were, probably if you'd done this 2 weeks ago, blew it up, you might be after winning a couple of games and being with a shot still. Like,
but that's not true, because if I actually hadn't given away Waddle last week, I would have won this week. So, so it doesn't. It doesn't matter what I do this year. It just goes to shit. Okay, I'm just fucking
bitch.
Done with injuries and everything. It just hasn't worked out, lads. You just write it off and go again next year.
It didn't help either that like your star wide receiver
really struggled.
Huh?
It didn't help either that your star wide receiver has a bad old QB all year. That kind of fucked you up.
Who's a star wide receiver?
Michael Pittman, man. Michael Pittman is a star wide receiver. That's who he drafted to be a star wide receiver. It ended up in Waddle.
It's so long since I've thought of Pittman as a star.
It's all of 9 weeks.
That's a lifetime in fantasy football. He may as well be dead now.
To be fair, week 1 he had like 23 points or something. So like we'll say 8 weeks. It's been 8 weeks since we thought of him as a star wide receiver.
Brings up Frank Reich very nicely there as well. Poor man.
This is what happens when you don't give the best player on the pitch the fucking football. I know how we can win games. Let's get Matt Ryan, who hasn't been good in the last 3 or 4 years, to throw it to receivers that aren't very good. Instead, I have a better idea. How about we run it behind one of the best guards in football with one of the best running backs in football? See how that goes. The Titans only did it for the last 2 years and made the playoffs.
I wonder did he decide that he wasn't going to have Sam Ellinger at quarterback anymore. He kind of said, "No, I'm not coaching if I have to coach with him," and then kind of got kicked out when he said that.
That's an awful rumor to be spreading, Dan. Poor old Sam, trying to make a name for himself.
Maybe Kyler should just sit on the bench now until like Cliff gets fired.
I don't think Cliff is going anywhere, man. I think there's a higher chance that Kyler is gone than Cliff.
No, Cliff will be gone in 2 weeks. I give it 2 more games.
Are you still able to make playoffs? What's your record at the minute in Arizona?
3-6. So I like
next game vital.
I highly doubt you can make the playoffs after 3-6. Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference. I don't even know. I think we have the Rams next, so
They're not
another
playing great
3-6
either.
team.
No, I was watching the Rams and
No.
Bucks the other night, and my God, what an awful game. Oh my God, they stunk. But I was watching Arizona at the same time as well, and I was like, Jesus Christ, they're awful.
Yeah, 'cause I was wondering why like Fournette on my team was struggling so much when Fournette is generally fairly good. I only realized watching that game the other night, Tampa Bay are missing 3 of their starting offensive linemen. They're all out injured. I was like, no wonder you can't run the ball. There's nobody to push guys back and make lanes. I was like, that's why he keeps getting swallowed up.
I think they're on like the 3rd string center as well. Like,
yeah, like oh man, he was bad too against the Rams. Like it's saying that it is a bit unfair to say that. Like he was playing against Aaron Donald for a lot of the game, best defender in football. Like so, it's a little bit harsh, but still he was bad.
Anyway, I'll kick off the hero drop.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do defines me.
Oh, sorry about that. That's our heroes. Where the hell are our stats for our heroes? It's going to start pretty easily here. Justin Fields is the number 1 quarterback on the week. And I very happily had him in my starting roster in our league record.
Well done, Dan. Great pickup.
Yeah, well done.
Well done. Fantastic stuff.
It only took him, like 5 or 6 years to get a starting QV.
I eventually unearthed one.
Yeah,
It was a jackpot of a find though this week, especially when we were talking in our live chat and I was projected to lose the game and Shane went to the bathroom, came back, and I was projected to win by like 80% after just a 60-yard touchdown run.
I literally left for 5 minutes. I was just after checking it on Sleeper. I was like, oh, well, Dan's screwed again. I was like, this is excellent. My playoff chances are getting better and better. All these winning teams are losing. I came back. It was like Tui turned it around. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Following Justin Fields' massive game was Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Tua again with his brilliant weapons, and Gino had a good week as well. I didn't realize Gino got this high.
Yeah, Gino was good, man.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of just everyone else below that had decent games, but they didn't deserve to get into the hero category here. Running backs, who we got here. Can you guess who was the running back won this game? Absolutely no points if you get it right.
I'm not guessing so. I need points.
Twisted my arm. It was Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was the running back one this week.
Joe Mixon probably had your fantasy week 1 by halftime at that point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Joe Mixon was a bit insane.
Was it 4 touchdowns or 3 he had before halftime? It was
3.
It was
I think
crazy.
it was 3.
Yeah, that was
Definitely
crazy. Like
had 5 by the end of the game anyway.
Like he outscored everyone this week. Like just
he nearly he nearly outscored my entire team. He was it's about 20 points off him.
Oh. Kenneth Walker was the running back 2 then. Travis Etienne following him up. Kenyon Drake, the scourge of my life, then snuck in on Monday night with a good game.
Are we thinking now that Kenyon Drake might actually hold the RB1 slot while Dobbins is out? Like that's 3 good games he's put in as the RB1 there. Lamar seems to like him.
No, hang on. 3 good games that lad's put in. He's put in 1 good game.
Hang on now. Whoa.
He was decent. Yeah, he was decent the week before as well against Tampa, but I can't back much anymore. Like,
yeah, 23 points. Then Tampa Bay beat them. He had 14 points there, and then against the Giants, his first week of starting, he had 19 points. Like the only week he had bad was the week where Gus Bus came back in week 7 and he didn't get a game. He had in that week 7 against the Browns, 5 carries for 11 yards. Huh?
Has it been that long since Gus played? Jesus.
Yeah, it's only 2 weeks. 2 weeks since Gus played. Like Gus went off injured against Tampa Bay, I think, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so
It sounds like they're going to put Gus back in a minute. He's ready. Like, I don't think Drake is a long-term solution. And I think fantasy-wise, I wouldn't, unless you need a running back, I wouldn't go there. Like, that's the
yeah,
situation that I want to move away from.
I get it though. It don't seem to make sense, but every time he's the RB1, he scored a touchdown every time they've played him at RB1. He has this sense for just getting into the end zone for him. Like, would you not keep? Like, I don't understand it, but I'm not paid to be a head coach in the NFL. That's Harbaugh's decision. Let him make that. But personally, for me, I can't understand why you wouldn't play Kenyon Drake as the Ravens head coach at the minute if he's playing this high until he slows down. Why go away from the hot hand? We've seen it with other teams in Chicago mixing their running backs in and out. Like, just go with the hot hand.
I honestly don't know if I'd what to do with Drake or any Ravens running back. It just feels awful, to be honest. It's like the whole situation. Like, if Dobbins is back now healthy this week, can you play Drake with any confidence? I will get into that.
If Dobbins is back, obviously I'm not going to play Drake if Dobbins is back.
Sorry about Edwards.
Yeah, again, like, I would wait and see, obviously, but like I don't personally understand the decision to replace Drake at the minute with the way he's playing. Like, if you give him a quarter and he's absolutely awful, rushes it 8 times, gets no yardage to really speak of, then yeah, I'll bring in the Gus Bus. But like, why are we changing from a winning formula? That just doesn't make sense. He should be fantasy relevant now.
Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Cordero Patterson's back, and he did well on his first day back. So Cordero's showing he's a cheat code again. Miles Sanders, Michael Carter's a nice name to see here, and then Jeff Wilson Jr. Jeff Wilson Jr. and sorry, the name escapes me now. What's Raheem Mostert kind of split 50-50. So that's going to be another kind of. They've both become flex options really now, if you know what I mean. You kind of have to. If they're going to be 50-50 in that offense, you're just stuck, really.
It's that San Francisco running style, isn't it? Been brought into Miami.
Well, you got to think, but they were only playing the Bears too, like, so. You know,
the Bears who ran all over them.
Yeah, but it's the Bears. Like, you know, they're not very good defensively. Like, you take that a pinch of salt. You stash him, you wait. But if you have Owen Wilson and you thought he was going to go bad, it's very positive, to be fair.
Javier says, sup guys. So everyone who wants to get comments and questions and leave them in the live stream, we will answer. Where are we moving to next? We have the wide receiver studs. Devontae Adams had a great first half, and then Derek Carr all over the place in the second half. Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp was wide open on one of his receptions. He was like just 90 yards deep in the field, no one on him. It was ridiculous. Justin Jefferson had a big week, and then Christian Kirk was back in the top 5 again, which is nice to see. Anyone else
but again, that it is against Vegas. That one, that like Vegas defense have been awful. You know, like, let's call a spade there.
Yeah, it's
but like if you drafted Kirk, you're pretty happy with his output at this point. Like,
obviously, you're delighted up till this point, and then you had a bad couple of weeks, and now he's back looking good. But like, I'd be pretty worried at any time they come up against any bit of a decent defense, because that's where he really looked bad, like the last couple of games. And like, it wasn't even against good defenses. Never mind, that's a ridiculous statement I just made. It was against bad defenses.
Tight ends, and Dallas Goedert had the biggest day of the week. That was on the Thursday night, which was it was surprising to see his was the biggest receiving name in that game. But anyway, Cole Kmet appeared out of nowhere to have a 20-point week. Travis Kelce then in a big game. Cade Otton for the Tampa Bay Bucks, and Zach Ertz, and then Noah Fant rounds off the top 6. TJ Hawkinson in at 7 on his first week in Minnesota, so that's a good sign as well.
Yeah. They said in build up to that game, didn't they? That they were going to use Hawkinson a lot. That they got him the playbook like almost instantaneously and just started drilling him on where he would be used, what he would be doing. They really wanted to go to him a lot this week, and Hawkinson owners should be really happy. He's now in a pass-happy offense that's looking to utilize him a lot. So they shouldn't see much change from what he had in Detroit over a lot of games now.
He's done better in that one game than he has in a lot of the Detroit games. Apart from that 1 week, he had the 3 touchdowns and just absolutely broke out altogether. But like, he looked really good for the Vikings. He looked like he was actually a primary target there. And so, as a Hawkinson owner, it's fucking great to see. You finally have a bit of positivity, you know. You still have the normal lads there, but like Zach Ertz is just like, I think we say this every week at this point. Like you say, you say it all the time, but like, what a pickup! If you had Zach Ertz at this point, you're absolutely delighted. He's averaging nearly 10 points a game at this point.
I think I drafted Zach Ertz in the second last round of our draft this year. I think that's where he went. And the only reason I actually ended up getting him is someone else. I had my eye on Hunter Henry. I really thought he was going to have a good year. I was wrong. But thank God someone stole him off me like a round earlier or 2 rounds earlier. And I waited. And I was like, I'll just take Ertz. I had him at the end of last year. He was consistent enough. I was like, that's all I'm looking for. And he's been very good. He's been like the B level and just constantly consistent. He's the gap between the really good guys and the carousel is just Zach Ertz.
I then 4 on the year.
Yeah, like he has been so good.
Do target Seahawks and the Cardinals with tight ends though, because they just neither of them can guard tight ends by the looks of it. Jamie, do you want to give the kicker of the week then before I move on and put on the zeros? The kicker would be in my zeros as well, but you guys want them.
I don't normally go for number 1, but I had to give a special shout out to the Chargers kicker, Cameron Dicker. What a man! He is my kicker of the week. Just
no, but the actual kicker of the week was Nick Folk.
No, it's Cameron Dicker.
No, the actual kicker of the week was Nick Folk. He was the highest point scorer. And yet again, another kicker who I told Dan to pick up because he was so good for me last year. And now Dan has the best kicker in the game on his team.
Cameron Dicker came onto that field last play of the game, kicked it, and won it for the Chargers. He was a match winner this year or this week, and Cameron Dicker.
Yeah, and Nick Folk kicked about 70 field goals in a game.
Yeah, fuck that.
Anyway, on to the zeros.
Loss of limb will not excuse you.
Quarterback stinkers of the week. Let's flow through these pretty nicely. I don't know how far down this list will we start. Will we go? I don't know if you're playing Jared Goff, but Justin Herbert definitely hurt you anyway.
Oh yeah. I
don't know if anyone's still playing Stafford. I assume they've moved off them. Is anyone still playing Rodgers? Are you playing Rodgers?
No, I have Tua. I don't need Rodgers. He's just there just in case Tua gets a brain injury again.
Yeah. Like, I think we've kind of moved up a lot of the guys at this stage that had bad weeks. Like Lamar had 17.5 points, but that's not killing you. It's not great, but it's not killing you either.
No,
I think most of the roster quarterbacks this week, most of the guys who people are dependent on actually had decent weeks. Like
they didn't kill you.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody really killed you this week. But still, if Derek Carr was on your roster this week and you played him and you got the decent week out of him, you should still be shot because you should have moved off him. I don't care if he gets 50 points in every week till the end of the season. He laid a goose egg. He should not be on a roster. As a quarterback, you can never get 0.
The running backs that kind of hurt you: Leonard Fournette, Alvin Kamara, Devin Singletary. You're playing with fire there anyway. Aaron Jones, that's a name that would have given you a bit of a kick.
Well, to fair to Jones, he did go off injured, so we're giving the benefit of the doubt. But
sneak him. He hurt you a little bit, but you probably knew what was coming there.
Yeah. if you didn't manage to trade Foreman out in the last couple of weeks off his few good weeks, he really hurt you this week.
If you moved on Clyde, but we've been saying, oh, your Clyde's efficiency didn't make any sense. And then maybe if you flex Khalil Herbert, you felt that one as well.
Yeah, but Montgomery didn't have a great week either. I think that's down to the fact that he had no choice. They were like, oh, we're going to pass this play, and then Fields was just like, I can't pass this play. I have to run for my life again. He just spent the game running for his life. It was like, I'm just going to get sacked on every play.
He was running for such like superior yardage anyway. He had like 187 or something like that.
Yeah, he actually only threw for just over 120 yards. Like, and ended up as the top QB of the week. That is insane.
if you rush at all,
he set a record, didn't he? He set like the single game record for rushing or something.
Yeah, in the regular season, apparently Kaepernick has a playoff game that had more points, but yes, the regular season ones. But like, if he rushed for 187 yards, that's 18.7 fantasy points straight away, without the passing touchdowns and the touchdown he ran in. Like,
yeah, like sick week for him. Like, no, I really do. I think Fields has gotten a lot of shit. I know we're going to running backs here, but I think Fields has got a lot of shit off of everyone the last how many weeks, and even last season. I'm actually delighted that they're playing to his strengths now under it. He's looking good, and he's become fantasy relevant, hopefully, and it'll be a thing to admire for the next couple of weeks.
You hated Fields.
Well, I didn't. I just hated him because he fucked me up once when I picked him up to get me out of a hole. I got over that.
For all our fantasy hate, all our hatred of players comes purely from, I played him once and he fell over.
Yeah.
Kind of is, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah, like, why couldn't he have that week last year when I picked him up?
I wouldn't have gotten it this week. You know, well, I'm playing Fields every match now for the rest of the season, no matter what.
And you are the quarterback killer, man. Facts, though. Next week, that man runs for about 4 yards and throws 7 picks.
Receiver stinkers. Let's go with. I don't know. Is it fair to say Adam Thielen here, but he didn't have a great week. Terry McLaurin, Amon-Ra. That one probably stung a few people.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, didn't really have one anyway, but I would have liked to see better production. Mike Evans, for people who had Mike Evans, he's bad this week.
Jamie, are you dying over there? I can just hear you breathing very loudly. Do you want an inhaler or something?
No.
I probably have my headphone turned up too loud. That's probably the issue.
I can't hear him.
Not even breathing.
Definitely just my headphone. Gabe Davis hurt you.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers didn't have a great game either. They're like Allen Robinson, but if you play an Allen Robinson, I think you kind of expect it at this stage.
Pittman
and DJ Moore.
You can't expect that at this point.
Yeah, we were talking about Pittman at the start before
Devonta
the show.
Smith.
Yeah, Devonta Smith's a hard one because I think it's a 50-50 shot. This happens to you sometimes. Like everyone else down this list, like Claypool, Tony, they're only fresh on their teams. I wouldn't really have been playing them.
Yeah,
Scantling if you were crazy.
Yeah, like some people were. Yeah, bad week for a lot of kind of receivers who've been doing all right lately, I suppose, like the likes of Myers. Robinson's had a few okay weeks. Paris Campbell, there's all those kind of guys that kind of had a few okay weeks in a row there, have all come back down to earth.
Tight end stinkers then, like there's a lot of random names making up like kind of 9 to 15 in the tight ends, and then Gerald Everett's tucked in at 16 there. You would have expected a better week, seeing as Herbert had no weapons.
He had the big drop pass that, like, if he had caught that, he was gone for a touchdown. I think that was the one that really hurt his fantasy stock this week. If you were watching the Chargers game and you saw Everett drop that pass, I think at that moment in time, you probably started crying.
You also had the issue then with Kyle Pitts, but I think, again, you kind of expect this with Kyle Pitts now.
Yeah, and Mike Gesicki, didn't he go from, like, really good week to, like, laying a goose egg this week as well?
Yeah, Conklin and Ingram kind of had the same sort of thing. Good weeks to kind of meh.
And then the famous off week for Taysom Hill this week too. I don't know. He's in as a tight end, so we'll put him in the tight end category, even though there's no way he should be classed as a tight end.
You have
You
got him, Jamie, don't you?
Yeah, he was my flex this week.
Oh,
I had
that explains it.
I had him up against Olave, and I, do you know why you talk going into that game? I was like, I still have a chance because he could genuinely go off and still get about 30 points, or he could do exactly what he just did. So that's what you get for him. To be fair,
I've taken my eyes off him. Has he been playing well in the last couple of weeks?
he's
had a couple of decent weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah, last week he was like 7 or 8 points, and he's been kind of averaging over around 10 points in our bouts.
Okay. Oh well, that's
There's a question in the chat there, Dan, as well. Whenever you're ready,
pulling it up now. Got offered
It's
Lamar
Ninja.
and DK for Chase. Lamar and DK for Chase. Do we have any news on Jamar Chase?
I haven't heard.
I'm in tight ends. That's why I can't find Jamar Chase. What's the news on Jamar Chase? Not expected to land on IR. So that's good news anyway. Depends on your record, I think. This, like, if you're like 7-2, 6-3, it might be worth considering.
I don't know. Can you realistically give up Jamar Chase?
No, if he's not going on IR, I wouldn't be giving him up. I don't think he's worth that now. I think that if he's going to come back in a couple of weeks, you might as well wait.
Like if it's redraft, we're going to week 10 here. I have a winning record. I'll take the Lamar and DK for Chase then. But if it's dynasty, I don't think I'd take it. I think Chase is just too valuable in dynasty to trade away, even if you're having a bad year because he's out.
So he got offered Lamar and DK for Chase, so he has Chase. So like say you're 3-6 and you need to basically win every game the rest of the way. In that situation, I'd probably take Lamar and DK purely because I need to win every week to make the playoffs. Like I don't have 2 weeks to mess around with Chase.
Yeah,
See,
if you need to win now, yeah, maybe. But I think I would still try to give it more. Like it's Jamar Chase at the end of the day. Like he's too good to be just kind of give it away because I need to win now.
The redraft scenario, I will give him away. But if it's keeper dynasty, I'm not giving him up. I'm keeping Jamar Chase. But redraft, yeah, by all means, take the 2 for the 1.
Redraft and you're 3-6 or below, it's probably worth doing. But otherwise, keep him. Like if you're 5-4, probably not making that trade. I'll just keep Chase. Write it out.
I probably, I would. I think if I was 5-4 and I'm waiting another 2 weeks and Lamar and DK are better than what I have, I'm definitely taking that. Like, just to guarantee the playoffs.
Lock it in.
Yeah, I'll take the hit down the road if I end up meeting Chase and he has a 30-point week against me. I'll take it then, but at least I got to where I needed to be.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is a luxury fantasy item, really, but sometimes you just have to go and make sure you get to the playoffs. We'll do our Week 10 preview.
Avengers! Assemble.
Man, Week 10 already, like flying through it. We'll be playoffs before we know it.
It really has flown, hasn't it?
It'll get to when we get to that stage of like March, April, where you're just like, oh, I miss fantasy football so much, even though I hate every single minute of it. Thursday night game, Atlanta at Carolina. This is one that I will just be looking up the score of on Friday morning. I won't be looking for the full extended highlights.
What do you mean, man? I go over here in Ireland for anyone who's watching America. That game is on at 1:15 in the morning. It's not over till about 4:30, maybe 5, depending. I'm obviously going to be staying up to watch that. It's the most intriguing matchup of the weekend. Mariota versus PJ Walker. Fucking can't get any better than that, can it?
Is there anyone in this matchup you want to play outside of Cordell Patterson?
No.
You might have to flex DJ Moore.
No, do you know what? I actually like the guy behind him a little bit more at the minute, Terrence Marshall.
He's a beast, isn't he?
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing from Terrence Marshall. Like, there's a couple of consistent weeks there, man. I know you're going to be better off flexing Terrence Marshall.
Don't worry about it. Sam Darnold's on the way.
Like it'd be so sickening that PJ Walker put a couple of games together, lost one last week now, and doesn't get to hold on to that position because, like, let's be honest, Darnold and Baker are absolute muck. Like, this man has he got 2 of their wins, did he? Or did he just get one of them?
I think PJ must have got the 2 of them, did he? He was definitely a lot closer the whole way.
I think he did actually. Yeah, I think he got 2 wins.
Why are you going back to the guy who lost everything? I suppose, yeah, you want to tank and get CJ Stroud next year.
Would you play DJ Moore or, let's say, Darnell Mooney against Detroit?
I play Mooney, I'd say.
Christ. Probably
I
Mooney,
can't believe I'm actually saying that. Yeah, I with the way Fields played, just you're probably touchdown dependent. You are touchdown dependent, but
I'm the
Fields
same.
can run it the way he can run it. Like,
I'd go that way as well. Would you play DJ Moore or Pickens for Pittsburgh against the Saints?
Probably go DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'd probably lean to DJ there.
I think I might even look at Pickens. That one's a lot closer. All right. Say we'll give it one more. DJ Moore or let's say Rondale Moore for the Cardinals against the Rams.
DJ Moore, I'd say. I probably would stick with DJ there.
Yeah. You still know what Rondale. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know more either.
The last couple of weeks, but it's just but that's the type of player you're looking at DJ Moore with now. Essentially, it's that level.
Yeah, like he's not wide receiver 1 or 2 quality this year.
Yeah, you can.
If you're going to play him in any game, this is probably the game you're going to play him.
Yeah, you might have to just pure because the name value, but it's tough in the streets. Kyle Pitts, you're stuck there. Like, let's face it, you're just stuck there.
I'm jumping off, man. Fuck Kyle Pitts and fuck all his says he has. I'm not doing that anymore. Like, if you still have Kyle Pitts and you are waiting, it's too late. It's week 10. Move on.
Would you play Kyle Pitts then or Dulcich against the Tennessee Titans?
Dulcich.
Oh, Dulcich.
I'm not playing Kyle Pitts. I'm playing Dulcich.
I'm all over Dulcich.
Or Tyler Higbee against the Cardinals.
Higbee. Cardinals are ass against the tight end.
I love your synchronization there. It was very nice.
We've been practicing.
Yeah.
Let's move on from this game to Munich for the first game in Germany.
Before we move on there, Dan, we have a flurry of questions in the comments. No,
okay. Up one. Jesus, we got so many that I can't go that far back.
What up to?
Up another one.
What do you think about a trade in a 10-man PPR 7-2 record, giving Hurts, Lenny Fournette, Jamar Chase, Godwin for Chubb, Kupp, Mike Williams? He has Justin Fields as QB. Giving up Hurts, Lenny Fournette, Jamar Chase, and Godwin for Chubb, Kupp, Mike Williams.
No.
Chubb.
No. What?
He's giving up Hurts, Lenny, Jamar, and Godwin. So you got 2 like Godwin's not playing great, but Jamar is upper echelon. Cup is upper echelon. Mike Williams is injured. So we'll say the wide receivers essentially cancel each other out, really. Like
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Cup and
you're
Chase.
giving Hurts and Lenny for Chubb then.
Yeah, I think I do that. If I'm 7-2 and I have Fields as my QB,
I don't know.
Yeah, but like, are you backing Fields? Are we all in on Fields after 1 week?
No,
look at Fields' schedule.
I don't
man.
think.
Look at the schedule.
Yeah, but it's the Bears and it feels
Yeah, but
like
the Eagles have an easy schedule as well. Me and Jamie went through it before the show there. The Eagles have an easy schedule up to the Cowboys.
you're gonna have a lot more consistency with Hurts than you are with Fields.
Yeah, like, and I know Lenny's not performing top notch, but like when Chase comes back in, I think Chase is better than Cup. Like Godwin,
Fields
I
has
take
scored-
Godwin over Williams.
Fields has scored 17, 19, 21, 30, and 48. He has Detroit, Atlanta, the Jets, Green Bay, a bye, Philadelphia, Buffalo, Detroit, Minnesota.
Yeah, so he plays a shit ton of hard defenses in the next 4 weeks.
Now the first 4 weeks are easy. It's the second 4 weeks that are a bit of a pain. Like, so he
yeah,
has.
so playoffs. When you're in the playoffs and you need to win every week, you're going to go against the harder teams with Fields.
I don't think Hurts has been as good as he was at the start of the season, though, in the last few games, has he? I think he's cooled a bit.
Consistent though, like he's going to get you over 20 points every week, which has been a struggle this year for a lot of quarterbacks.
Washington, Indy, Green Bay, Tennessee, the Giants. He is past the bye, which is very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I'm backing Hurts all day.
Nick also has. Sorry, Jamie. Nick also has another thing added on after this to say who he has on his team.
CMC, Kelsey, CD, lacking a flex. Benches: Rashad White, Jacoby Myers, Odell Beckham, Jameson Williams, Mika. So the bench is kind of empty. Realistically, it's not a lot there. CMC, but you're giving up more players, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like look, I can see the reason you would want Chubb. You say, right, have Fields, top scorer this week. You get Chubb, you have CMC there, and you have Kelsey. 3 big point scorers. You're getting Cup back in. Like, look, that team is really nice when you put them pieces together. Like, I'm assuming from all this though that it's dynasty. So like,
no, it's 10 team PPR. This is definitely redraft.
Oh, you did redraft.
I'd be pulling,
that changes a bit, maybe.
on that. Yeah, I'd be going for that personally now. That like you two might have a different opinion.
I'd go if it's redraft. I'd go for it, but I'd actually swap quarterbacks. I would swap Hurts or Fields. I like your way Fields. I would rather Hurts. I think it's a better offense. I think you just have more consistency, and the only way to win a fantasy league is consistency. You know, I just don't.
Like, you could probably do that, to be honest. Like after the big week with Fields, you could definitely do that. Like,
yeah, I just
I'd probably be on board with Jamie with that. Like Fields has, like you're 7-2, you're making the playoffs. Fields is going to have a tougher time in the playoffs, or our playoff weeks, fantasy playoff weeks, compared to what Hurts is going to have. Hurts is going to have a handier schedule. So I think it's a big risk keeping Fields and going into a playoff run with him.
Oh, but Fields is the new hotness.
Yeah, right now, man. But in a week's time, whenever, like what he doesn't realize, what Nick Popovich doesn't realize is that Dan also has Justin Fields. So he's
quarterback.
For the ride. Let's go.
Yeah. Dan picked up Jared Goff off of a 40-point week, and Jared Goff turned to shit straight away. So I'm expecting.
I think I played him for the 40.
The same thing to happen.
Just made a move. Traded Tua, Garrett Wilson, and Etienne for Justin Jefferson and Saquon. Thoughts? I like that. Like Tua and Garrett,
Yeah,
they're good players, but I give me Justin Jefferson and Saquon.
yeah, I like that. Yeah. No, I wouldn't like to give her a 8 again, but I think with Jefferson and Saquon there, you probably just about got enough back. Yeah. No, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that as well.
Yeah.
That's I like that trade.
He also has Joe Burrow as the backup QB. So
Nice.
he's putting in Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Saquon. Happy days. Saquon's passed the bye as well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they went out this week. Was it this week they were off?
They're after 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Nick's coming back to you and saying that he he thinks that Fields is going to be better than Hurts. I agree with you, Nick. I'm all in as well.
Of course you do. You picked him up. Look, the numbers can't lie at the minute. Justin Fields has been terrible. Now I know they're running him, and yeah, that's all well and good. But like, the man, he might not be this consistent. Like,
Yeah, like I just don't trust the Bears. That's about it, to be quite honest with you. Like I don't doubt Fields'
Yeah.
ability to do what he's doing, but like I just don't think the Bears are good enough to go deep in the game and score as many points as he has been the last 2 weeks. Your consistency comes from Hurts. Like
Going back to the
you,
trade. Go on, Jamie. Sorry.
I just want to say, look, you could get into the playoffs and Fields could have that tank game and bang, it's done. Whereas Hurts is not going to do that yet.
On top of the other on that Saquon trade, he also had Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill. So he has Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, and Saquon.
this
Nice.
man is he a fantasy god at getting the best wide receivers. What the fuck?
Teach us.
Yeah, you should be doing the podcast. We should be watching you, man. How the fuck did you do that?
Seattle then Tampa Bay hit the Munich game. Geno Smith, Tom Brady. Yay.
Hey, come on, man. Be
Well,
a
I
little
think
bit of
Geno
respect
now.
for Geno. Yeah, come on now.
Like I think this
All
time,
the Tom Brady stuff I was going for there.
which is absolutely insane, isn't it? That we're
It's
more
an
excited
absolute
over Geno Smith over Tom Brady. Insane.
Tom's gone off far, man. He's had a lot in his mind. Poor man.
You're not going to really play Tom Brady in this game, so it's probably just Geno is the only real discussion here. You might be playing Tom Brady if you're in a bit of purgatory.
Yeah, no, I'm just staying away from Tom Brady at the minute, man.
But I don't think it's Brady's fault, to be quite honest with it, because I was watching him the last night, and like the amount of drop passes the other wide receivers had was absolutely insane and was disgusting. And only for it, he would have put up huge points. So it's not all on Brady for him.
They should have won that game even with all the drops. Like Scotty Miller, only for Scotty Miller dropping that pass in the back of the end zone at the end of the game, like they had that game won. And it was a terrible drop as well. Like went straight through his hands, hit him in the face mask, and he dropped it again. Like, come on, man! He just caught 3 passes. I think it was going up the sideline to get him into that position, and then drops the most important one.
They did win that game.
Well, did they come out and win it?
Yeah. Brady did like a 40-second.
Yeah,
But
they should have. The game should have finished before that.
Yeah, it should have finished before it. Yeah.
Jamie, will you run through the rest of this matchup for me? I just need to go on mute for a second.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I suppose running backs, I suppose they kind of play themselves. Look at Kitty Walker, play Fournette. Probably stick with him if you have him. You have him, Shane.
Yeah. No, I'm not dropping Fournette, man. Like I'm just. Yeah. That Tampa Bay situation is awful at the minute. We talked about the 3 linemen been out. Like that's the killer for them at the minute. Like if they get 1-2 of them guys back, they'll run out a bit better. I don't know what their injury status is. I think their starting center's out for the year, but I'm not 100%. I don't know their actual injury status.
Yeah, I was reading today they're on about putting White in more, so that might take time off Fournette as well.
I'd say that's more for passing downs. I'd say like they're probably going to run a few more pass plays off of it because they're struggling to run the football at the minute. But like, look at Tom Brady over his whole career, man. He's been at his best off of the play action. Like they can't do that at the minute without an O-line. That's where the
Yeah.
struggle is in the running game for Tampa.
Yeah, but I think if you have, or if you see White on a waiver, I think now's the time to pick him up. Drop him on the bench.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I'd agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd have him on the bench maybe this week, or if you're caught for a bye week or something, maybe flex him in this week. He wouldn't be a bad option to throw in there if you're stuck. Like he had an all right week this week, didn't he? For a second stringer, like he had 5
yeah,
points.
I started him this week. He got 6 points. Yeah,
Yeah, so like,
all right. Like,
look, if you're in a bad position, you need a solid flex this week. Someone who's going to pick you up 5-6 points. That's what he is to me at this moment in time. Maybe he breaks out a bit this week. Hopefully not for me, as I'm the Fournette owner. But yeah,
I think he could be. I think he could be taking over that backfield. Like he looked good.
hopefully not.
fingers crossed.
No, you're already eliminated. We do not need fingers crossed.
I cannot finish the season 1 and 16.
Yes, you can. Stay where you belong.
Hey, I know I'm the only one of these of us three who've actually won this league. So
1 year.
stay in your
Get
fucking
over
lane.
it. 4 years ago.
You never won it.
So-
and it was only 2 years ago.
This is my year. No, it wasn't. It was more than that. 2 years
it
ago
was-
was COVID.
It was over COVID. I won it.
No, it wasn't.
It was because they couldn't get the trophy.
It wasn't because we were in Portugal.
This is year 4, I think. This is the 4th season.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
won it year 1.
No, I didn't really win. I got to the final year 1 and I won it year 2.
Oh yeah, you shot the bag. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I see him CMC and Lamar, remember?
Yeah, oh yeah, you lost it.
Yeah.
It was Dad's team name the following
That's
year.
yeah.
Jamie lost the CNC in the match.
Yeah,
What about
I
that?
don't know.
How did you do that?
Showed him I fucking won it then.
But in your defense, didn't you call it? You had the two of them, but they were both benched for the last week or something, weren't they? And we had our final in the last week of the season.
They were really shit the last week. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a couple of snaps. I don't think they really played, to be fair to you.
The wide receivers then: Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans.
Lockett and Metcalf are automatic at this point. Surely.
Yeah.
They look very good. Tampa Bay, you're probably playing them, but you're kind of
Just covering your eyes and
yeah,
looking through the
like
box.
It's so
about-
up and down with them.
What about Otten at the wide receiver position? Are you looking that way, or are you just going to leave that off?
You mean Otten at the tight end position?
Yeah. What did I say?
Wide receiver position.
Oh, did I? My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Kate Otten. I don't think we say it every week. Tight end carousel. He's on there now. Throw him in.
no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, when we go to talking about tight ends, we need that for the drop.
No, I wouldn't play Patton. He broke coverage at one point and just had a massive run and a touchdown. Like, I wouldn't play him yet.
Minnesota at Buffalo. 7-1 Minnesota Vikings against an angry 6-2 Buffalo Bills.
We have another ludicrous comment.
That's Lucius.
Lucius. Just had someone try and trade me Amon-Ra St. Brown for James Robinson. What?
Yeah, click the accept button and then laugh.
That's fantastic.
Put the phone down, go to the bathroom and smile.
Yeah.
Minnesota 7-1, Buffalo 6-2. I think you just play everyone here realistically. There's no one you're really benching at this stage, is there? Singletary maybe.
Yeah, Singletary's on my bench.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, play everyone. This could be a huge score. You know, I can say the Bills are a bit pissed off now. This could be massive.
Yeah, that's an easy game.
Well, Dawson, are we playing Dawson Knox? He was touted to be like one of the better tight ends coming into the season. Like,
I play him there. Yeah.
couple of
Yeah.
average weeks.
Yeah, but
Alright.
like I think this game is going to be so high scoring that I think you can.
Fair.
Like Knox and McKenzie, I'd question, I suppose. Like if I had better options than
Yeah,
those, I would play them.
yeah, I probably wouldn't play McKenzie, but like you're playing all the starters, like.
Yeah, like Diggs, Olave, they're straight in. Singletary, I'm probably going to play him as a flex. Josh Allen, yeah. Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook. And then Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, they're both starts. Like Hawkinson's a start.
Yeah.
Move
on.
Detroit at Chicago. Let's talk about Justin Fields again.
All right. Yeah, look, Justin Fields has gone 21, 30, and 48, right? There's last 3 weeks of points. Now, he has to come back down, right? And Detroit are the worst defense in football this season. Like, he should have another 50-point week. If they're that bad, he really should. But I just don't see it. He's an instant starter this week, yes. But he is not going to score you 50 points again.
Watch him do that now.
It will not happen. This is the week he crumbles. It goes back to being old Justin Fields now, and it's all your fault, Dan.
Just gotta write know what Dan's bold prediction is this week, and yeah.
I think they probably play a lot of pieces in this game, though. Like Shane says, the Detroit defense sucks. The Chicago defense sucks, like Jamie said earlier. The offenses are both clicking. It's like it could be a bit of a barn burner. This.
There probably is a lot of lads who can play. Like I think Claypool could actually be a lad who can play here. He got a few receptions the last day, even for a lad who was just on the team. I see him over Mooney anyway. Maybe not this week, but eventually, because Mooney's been fuck all year. Someone has to do something.
It's weird that we're at the point now with the Chicago wide receivers that we're actually questioning which one we should play, Claypool or Mooney.
Yeah.
5 weeks ago, if someone told you that, you'd be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah. What? Have you played this before? Do you understand the rules?
It's not golf.
Yeah.
Man looking for John Daly in the charts.
Goff, you could probably play Goff here, realistically.
Yeah, I think Goff is a smart pickup if you have a QB out in a bye this week and your need for QB is in this week. Smart pickup.
Yeah, like Chicago aren't like any sort of a defense to worry about. Like this, let's get their rank against the QB position. They are middle of the pack, 16th, so Goff could have a decent week. But that's not really adjusted for them trading away like their defense essentially at the deadline. So yeah, since they've made the trade, they've been quite nice to play against.
Yeah.
Let's see, like last week, well, they did play Tua and the Miami wide receivers, so that you can't really judge them on that. Those wide receivers are going to score on everyone.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got there. Next, then we have DeAndre Swift. That is the messy situation of this game. Like, you probably have to play Swift, but you're probably not happy about it based off the last couple of weeks.
No, but he's still coming back though. So when he eventually clicks and he comes back, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, like I think we said it last week. Like Swift was out for so long that you probably got a replacement for him. Like you could probably, if that replacement was decent enough, you could probably still stick with them and maybe flex Swift. But like he should not be your running back one at this moment of time.
No.
They're both really flex options then this week, DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. Like Jamal Williams is just always a flex.
Yeah, I'd feel comfortable even if Jamal Williams was my RB2 this week. Like I would feel comfortable at that. His production has been better than Swift's. Just they seem to be just kind of sticking with him a little bit since Swift was out injured. Like I probably feel a bit more comfortable with Jamal Williams than Swift at the minute.
Yeah, so weird. like it comes back to your Kenyon Drake thing earlier. You know, like why would you put back in Smith when Williams is doing so well? You know,
Yeah,
like,
that's what the Lions are doing, and it's
Yeah.
making sense. It worked for him against Green Bay.
they're shite though. So.
We don't need to talk about Amon Ra. That's an auto start. Cole Kmet. Oh, I don't know. Could I bring myself to do that?
No, he's not on the carousel yet.
He needs another big week. Yeah, 20 points this week, but like it's still just like the scars are deep with Kmet this season.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, he's close enough to be back on the carousel, but yeah, he's still watching from the stands, waving at the rest of the lads.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Climbing a hill though, so it was 2 points against Washington, 4 points against New England, 8 points against Dallas, and then 19.5 points against Miami. If these trends continue,
yeah, if Cole Kmet gives me another 8-point week, over 8 points in a week, he can get on the carousel for me then.
Cool. All the way into Jacksonville against Kansas City. Trevor Lawrence versus Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is auto start. What do we think about Trevor Lawrence?
It's tough, like, isn't it? Like he played really well this weekend. Like he did look good, but again, it was against the Raiders D. So I don't really know where to go with Lawrence at the minute. Just for the fact that he's making me think a little bit too much about how to play him, I'm not playing him.
Kansas City are like an easy team to pass on is the only thing, but that's because they get into boat races, don't they, where they can just score as many points as they want, so it doesn't really matter how many points you score.
That's kind of the thing. Like Jacksonville could have it out of the ball here because Kansas are just scoring so fast, you know. So like he could put up a good fantasy week. So if you're stuck, you could probably play him, yeah.
Jared Goff against Chicago or Trevor Lawrence against Kansas City?
Oh,
Jared Goff.
Goff, what's
Trevor Lawrence against Kansas City or Kirk Cousins against Buffalo?
Oof. Kirk Cousins just for the weapons.
Yeah.
No, I'll probably take off. What's that?
No, he wasn't an option.
Oh, it's still on Lawrence. Sorry.
Jamie's just going off script. Nah, I won't do either of those. I'll go with off.
I'm doing my own thing, right? Yeah, I go Lawrence. Welcome back to your world.
Travis Etienne's an auto start, but the running backs for Kansas City, no, thank you.
Nah, stay away. If you have Edwards-Helaire, you're obviously playing Edwards-Helaire, but yeah. We warned you about this weeks ago. We warned you about this weeks ago that he was going to tank, and this is exactly what happened. No.
Yeah, all we need there was Sanders to tank too, and we've been right about both of them.
Vindication.
Yeah, like the wide receivers then, like Kirk, Zay Jones, Juju. Like, are you playing anyone other than Juju on the Kansas City side, wide receiver?
No, I wouldn't say so, really. Yeah. Like, adding Tony to that mix has just absolutely destroyed it even more. Because now you really don't know who's going to get the ball.
Yeah, but like Hardman's last 4 weeks, have all been over 10 points. Like, is Hardman, like, are we overlooking Hardman now and we're saying, like, because of how bad you burned us in the past, we're not even going to look your way? He's had 4 weeks over 10 points.
He was bad this week, was he?
No, 16 points this week, nearly 17, half PPR.
No, 1.7 points, lad.
Hardman? No, it's Hardman 16.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were on MVS. Sorry, Hardman.
No, Hardman.
No,
yeah,
mind
no, fuck
MVS.
MVS.
We're
That man can
past
stay in the
that.
toilet bowl.
Yeah, Hardman, I don't know. Hardman's just, he's so scary. Like he's absolutely terrifying.
He's touchdown dependent, and that's the problem. And the problem is he's now scored touchdowns in each of the last few games, so eventually that's going to stop. And it's going to be the minute you pick him up.
What happens with Tony as well? Like, when does Tony start messing up this as well? Like,
I
Yeah,
would have
so-
assumed Tony would have done that this week, but he didn't. So maybe this weekend against Jacksonville is Tony's breakout. I think this could be the problem with Tony. I think we know the talent and he has the potential to just break out any week. And everybody seems to like Tony. So I think there's going to be a lot of people backing him. A lot of fantasy owners are probably going to start backing Tony to do something. But like, I don't think I'd play him. Like, I just, not until he has a big week and then an average week.
No, you definitely can't play him.
Yeah,
No
like,
way.
I think Juju's the only one safe in this situation because, like, MVS, McCole, Hardman, Tony, they're all that electric kind of deep threat, whereas Juju's kind of the slot guy who's just gonna, do his 10-yard button hooks. And like at least his market share is safe, where these other guys could just all be like, 1 week it's this one, 1 week it's this one, 1 week it's this one. Like,
yeah, like Juju's had bigger weeks than Hardman, but Hardman's had more consistent weeks than Juju, which is so strange to say.
Yeah.
Like, it's that receiving core there is just so annoying. Now I know Juju definitely off his last 3 games, you could stick him in and play him, but I wouldn't be against someone picking up Hardman and going for that. Like, I don't think he's a bad option if you like. He can sit in your bench. He's not going to kill you, I don't think.
sorry, I'm reading this trade. DK, Godwin, and Sanders for Higgins, Amon-Ra. So got DK, Godwin, and Miles Sanders for Higgins and Amon-Ra. That's a robbery. How do you get DK,
No,
Godwin, Sanders?
He's trading DK, Godwin, and Sanders away.
Oh, for Higgins and Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, take that.
You'd prefer Higgins and Amon-Ra?
Oh yeah. Do you not?
Yeah, I just, in fairness, I would do this just because I don't want Sanders on my team.
But like he's already got Barkley as the end of Swift. So
Yeah,
like, he's got
so-
covered. He's
Ah,
already
yeah.
got covered there.
I didn't really read the others. I didn't read the rest of this roster. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
not fucking stupid. I can make good decisions sometimes.
Oh. 1 and 7.
So to be 1 and 8.
Oh, tight ends in this game. Evan Ingram and Travis Kelce, they're both in play, really. Travis Kelce's all right at football.
Yeah.
Cleveland at Miami. It's the usual suspects for Miami. The only real question is the running backs, Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson.
I think
Yeah.
you hit the nail on the head with that earlier, Dan, though. Like, you said it, they were both flex options. Like, they're 50% snap share, like, there. So I wouldn't feel comfortable starting Mostert. I know his projected points is double Wilson's, but I still wouldn't feel comfortable with him as my RB1 this week.
I'd agree with that. I think you just have to put them in the flex if you have them, and otherwise, then I wouldn't be too worried about it. Like, I wouldn't be looking to play them as RB2s and be comfortable about it, like you say.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
The other side of the ball, then at the running back position, is just Chubb and Hunt. And Hunt's very annoying. Like, you have him this year, Shane. Like, he's just
No, I don't. I traded his ass. He is God.
he's just infuriating this year because you're not getting the big blow up games you're used to getting with them.
Yeah, like he started the season week 1 really well, and then just didn't have another game like that again all season. But like, it's funny. I think he's actually still doing better than Singletary this year.
I'd believe that. Yeah.
The tight ends then really is just kind of the end of this game. Like, what do we even want to do with here? The tight ends can't really do.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, with wide receivers as well, but they're just obvious. You're playing Cooper, you're playing Hill, you're playing Waddle.
Well, Cooper's away, so
I
probably
think we've
not.
almost moved past that now. We're almost into the point where like we just have to play him everywhere now.
That's not what we do, Dan.
Well, he had one decent game away against Baltimore, and the other two away. They've only played 3 away games. What is going on here? Like,
The end of the season is going to be rough for Mary Cooper owners.
Praise him now.
Yeah, get out while he's hot, man.
at Miami, at Buffalo, Tampa Bay, at Houston, at Cincinnati, Baltimore, New Orleans, at Washington, at Pittsburgh. At Pittsburgh is a week 18, so you won't have to deal with that, but still.
Yeah.
It's so funny looking at his line though. So all the away games were 320, 140, 890, and then his home games are 26, 19, 6, 17, 1, 19, 6, and 12, 4.
I
This
told
man
you, man.
It's
I
so
watched him
funny.
as a cowboy for what? What was he there? 3 years, 4 years, whatever he was there. The man does not like playing away.
I know, it's just so funny though. Like,
This matchup
Seriously.
is so juicy though against Miami. Like, you can't, like, I think you have to roll the dice. Like the Miami DBs, like,
If you have
know,
him, you're
yeah.
playing him. But like, honestly, Donovan Peoples Jones would be in my team over Amari Cooper this week. Man's away from home.
got a question into the stream. I love the stream. Quick question. My team: QB Kirk Cousins, running backs Eckler, Henry, wide receivers Devontae D Hop, Kadarius Toney, tight ends Taysom Hill. I have the option of trading D Hop for Chubb. PPR 6-3 is the record. D Hop away is so hard, but for Chubb, like,
I don't think you
we have
really need
Eckler
Chubb
and
though.
Henry already.
I think you're losing more by giving away the hop in this case because like he's already got 2 good running backs. Like you're ruining your wide receiver core.
Yeah, I'd agree
Yeah,
with
like
that.
is
Devontae
Kadarius?
D-Hop.
Yeah, is Kadarius Toney the flex here? I take it.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah.
I presume so.
Yeah, like you are so weak at receiver. I don't know. Can you make the trade just because you're so weak at receiver?
Yeah, that's what I think.
And D Hop is pretty sweet, though, isn't it? 6-3 with D Hop suspended for all that time. That's very good. Like,
Yeah, I suppose. Like, look. In fairness, you did just get D Hop back. You're already 6-3. Clearly, you've done something right in your team without D Hop. You could probably make the trade. Like, that's the part I probably forgetting and overlooking. You spent 6 weeks without him. You have a 6-3 record. So, like, by all means, trade him away. You've done it without him for 6.
Now you can enjoy him. This is PPR as well, remember? So the receptions really do give the extra boost there to D Hop.
Yeah.
PPR, like.
Yeah, but Chubb is just a beast then as well. Like,
it's a real Sophie's choice.
Like, how many weeks has Chubb finished outside top 5 running backs? I think he's been there a lot this year, hasn't he?
Yeah. We can use Sleeper's new positional ranks. Let's get to Chubb.
No, we can't.
Chubb. Yeah, no, we can't. We've got to wait now for me to find the Browns in this list of teams. Oh, we're on the Browns game. This should have been a lot easier. We're looking everywhere else for them.
You're an idiot.
They claim to be smart. Here, I can't even find it on the fucking desktop version. This is stupid.
It doesn't work for half PPR if that's what you're looking at.
No, it's full PPR. I was going to try and find, but I can't even fucking find that. Like, anyway,
Just go into the game log.
Yeah, no, on the desktop version, it doesn't show the positional rank.
Oh,
On the phone, it does. Because they sent a notification about today, didn't they? Like,
yesterday I got it.
Yeah, he's number 5 PPR anyway overall on the season. So like he has been beast at running back.
Yeah, it depends what you like. If you're at a running backs, go for Chubb. If you want to keep strong wide receiver, go D-Hop. Same thing. Like
I think I'd take D-Hop just because,
I think it would do.
Cardinals. But that's my bias.
All right,
Anyway,
let's move on.
Move on. We talked about the wide receivers and then the tight ends. Gesicki, back to the carousel.
He one more week like what he had. He's not even allowed on the carousel.
He's on the tiny little horse at the back. That's what he's on. Yeah.
Would you play Gesicki or would you play Ingram against Kansas City?
I play Ingram.
Ingram. Yeah.
Fair enough. That was an easy one. Houston at the Giants.
Play everyone.
Texans.
No, you don't mean
two
play
running
everyone.
backs.
You mean play the two running backs.
Yeah.
Cook's love. I'm out of this one.
Yeah, you could nearly play Wandale Robinson. Or not. I'd say you're staying away.
I'd want to be fairly up against the wall to be playing Wandale Robinson.
Yeah, not doing that.
But if you're going to play him against anyone, you're going to play him against Texans. Like,
Yeah,
surely.
yeah. I see your logic. Fair point, well made there.
Yeah, see.
But it's Wandale Robinson, and I can't bank on him. I'd love to stash him though. I'd love to have him on my bench and see, but I don't know. Shane, anything more to say on this game, or can we move on?
No, this game is ass, man. Let's move on.
New Orleans at Pittsburgh. And Najee Harris has been bad.
Yeah, he has broke my heart this year with how bad he's been. I really thought when I seen everything about how much weight he had put up that he was like running whatever 40 time he was running in preseason and he had put up all the weight, and I was like, man is bigger than Bettis in his heyday. Preseason, I was like, Najee's going to be a beast, and he's just been terrible.
I think now is the time to pick up Jalen Warren and stash him on your bench if you have a spot, because he could very easily just start taking over this backfield.
In a PPR 2 flex, my team is Cousins, Saquon, Mixon, Cup, Higgins, Freiermuth, Lockett, Pierce. Have Sutton on the bench where Sutton belongs at this stage. Should I trade Higgins and Sutton and Jeff Wilson for Eckler and Brandon Cooks?
Oh
yes.
yeah. Yes.
Make that trade.
Yeah, I do that.
Eckler and Brandon Cooks. That sounds like a Dan sort of team. Eckler and Brandon Cooks.
Have you even put in this trade? Because I don't think you'd take it.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. Yeah, if you have the offer, go for it. But the other guy might not agree to that. Trade Pittman for Khalil Herbert. Oh, Pittman and Khalil Herbert for Kamara. Yeah, that's an auto trade.
Yeah,
Pittman, Herbert
yeah, I
gone.
do that all day.
Yeah, if you're getting that, definitely.
I don't know if the other guy would agree to getting Pittman and Herbert though.
Yeah, it's bleak on the other side of that trade. If they are taking that, like they have just suffered some horrific trauma that they're getting rid of Kamara. I don't know what it is, but they're in pain and they're just like, getting rid of my best player.
Speaking of Kamara, he's in this game, the Saints versus Pittsburgh. He's an auto start. Najee, did we get to whether we were benching him or playing him? You've probably got to play him, don't you? Unfortunately.
Yeah, you have to play him because of where you probably drafted him. But like, you're not doing it happily at all.
Go get Warren for your bench if you can. He's slowly seeing more and more of the snaps. The only issue I see is I don't know how the Steelers could ever like properly bench Najee, but they might have to if it keeps going as badly as it's going.
Yeah.
He was over 8 yards a carry in the last game, Warren.
Yeah, he looked good before the bye. He looked really, really good. So he's definitely allowed to pick up.
I'm just going to slowly add him to our waivers there quickly in the background.
You get Warren, is it?
Lads,
I
I
don't know.
put this in this morning, so there's no way. I am priority one. There is no doubt.
Fair enough. I won't bother with Warren then, unless that's a double bluff.
No, I genuinely have, yeah.
Olave is an auto start, but the
Yeah.
question mark here is Deontay Johnson and Pickens. They could be interesting options in this game. The Saints have been bad.
Yeah, I don't trust either of the two of them enough. Like I'm not playing them. I just can't. I wouldn't be able to do it. I do not trust either of the two of them enough.
Yeah, no, I probably agree. But like, if you can, I would definitely stash the two boys because I think they're going to get better at Pickett. I think they're just going to be like they can't go worse. Like, and to be fair to them, last time for the boy they were playing was it the Eagles, so like it was a tough game. So they're only going to get better. So I would definitely pick up Pickens if I could, because I think he's
Yeah, I
going to get
wouldn't be
better.
so gone on Johnson. Like Pickens, yeah,
No.
I understand that one. I could put Pickens on my bench, stash him there, but I don't trust either of the two of them to play. Like I think Olave is really the only receiver in this game that I'm really looking at playing. Like, obviously, if I'm stuck or bye weeks or whatever, like, yeah, put in Pickens then, but I wouldn't be playing Johnson.
Yeah, Pickens I'd be interested in. I think I'm actually considering playing him in one of my rosters this week in the flex position. But I can't even
God,
remember
I
who
hope I'm playing you this week.
My team is stacked. I have Justin Fields.
It's going to be so funny when we're on here next week and that man has crashed and burned. It's just
Actually
going
can't
to be,
wait. Oh.
yeah, it'll be so painful for Dad. He'd be like, well, I had a good thing going.
It's going to be that, Grandpa in the Simpsons gif where he like walks in with the hat and just slowly walks back out the door again.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill, Pat Fryermuth. What do we think? Are we like Fryermuth had dud last week?
He's a boy,
Yeah.
wouldn't he?
Yeah. The week
It
on the week
happens when you don't play football.
Seven. Bye week is undefeated. You always get a dud on a bye week.
Man said he laid a dud last week. He wasn't even playing.
Well, technically, he's right.
He got a zero.
Yeah.
Technically. Yeah, I think you play Fireboot. Probably the only
Yeah,
kind of shining light in that offense, really.
Tight ends are a big thing for rookie quarterbacks. Like we've seen it over the years. They tend to go to the safety blanket of a tight end a lot more, big-bodied guy to catch the ball, so that they don't turn it over too much. So I always like rookie QBs. I always like their tight ends tend to pick up a few more points than what you'd expect.
We trade DK and Higbee for DeAndre Hopkins. So to me, Higbee's not really even in this because you can just cut Higbee really. So DK for D-Hop.
Yeah, watch out.
Gino's playing good though right now, man. Like that.
Look,
I'd probably do it just because D-Hop is the clear one for the Cardinals.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, like the DK Lockett thing has been an issue for years, but Gino's doing what Russ couldn't. He's getting the two of them good points every week.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we just take a look, just for ignorance sake, we'll take a look at the remaining schedules, will we, and see kind of like.
Yeah, we could go do that. Pick up the Seattle one there if you want to go look at D-Hops.
Yep, I'll get the strength of schedule up now. So let us check and see who has the best schedule for wide receivers. So Seattle. Keyboard's being slow. So the Seahawks have Tampa Bay, which is middle of the road this week, and then they are on the bye. And then they have an incredibly soft schedule for the wide receiver. Vegas, Rams, Carolina, San Francisco, Kansas City. A tough game in Week 17 against the Jets. They're hard for the wide receivers. And let's see what Arizona kind of doesn't really matter because the offense is so bad anyway. Let's take a look. So Arizona have an easy game against the Rams, San Francisco. Chargers are middle of the pack. Then they have the bye week. Then New England, which is a really hard game. They're 6th against the wide receiver. Denver, who are the best team against the wide receiver. And then Week 16 is Tampa, which is middle of the road. And then Atlanta, which is one of the worst teams, 2nd worst in Week 17 for the championship game. So realistically, DK has the easier schedule.
I think I'd still back D-Hop, though, just for the fact that he's the clear one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
I'd agree. And even when Hollywood gets back, D-Hop is still a 1. Like,
yeah, that was the Ravens' biggest mistake, was ever thinking Hollywood was a 1.
Yep, well, that's fair enough. Denver at Tennessee.
Oh, we have another question there, Dan, before we move on from the questions.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Waller or Pitts for Jacoby Myers. Waller or Pitts and Jacoby. Sorry, so it's either the tight ends and Jacoby for Amon-Ra. Yeah, yes. Take
Well, if you
tight ends, I don't care.
if you
Yeah,
could do
both of
Pitts and Jacoby, yeah.
Well, Waller's been just as bad this year, to be fair. Like,
Yeah.
it's just I expect more from Pitts because he's an absolute athletic freak.
If I could do Waller and Jacoby for Amon-Ra, I would. But if I have to do Pitts and Jacoby for Amon-Ra, I don't mind either.
Yeah, either or, but I would start with the Waller one.
Yeah.
Like,
I
as
agree.
much as I give out about Pitts, like, he might not be this bad next year when Mariota's no longer the quarterback.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Yeah. I don't know why I thought Waller did better than he was. That's
I
on
don't
me.
think
Yeah,
he's right.
totally go for it.
Usually he does. This has just
Yeah.
been... What happened was Devontae Adams went there and Derek Carr said, I can only see one player on the pitch. I don't see anyone else.
Well, Waller's been out for a few weeks too.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're even able to get any trade value for Waller. I would have thought like he'd be basically dead in the water. Denver at Tennessee. We're not even sure if Tannehill's back again this week. But even in the situation, we're not playing any of the quarterbacks here.
No.
Denver running backs.
No.
I don't want any of that. Yeah. You are correct, Jamie. No.
There's not a lot you're going to play in this game, really, is there? Apart from Derrick Henry. Like,
Jerry
he's still
Judy,
gonna-
good game.
Yeah, you
say
could me and Judy.
But you play Sutton, you probably don't. Probably struggle to play Sutton at this point, aren't you?
Judy's
Sutton
the one.
has Sutton has gone to the bad boy corner, and he is not coming out.
I said this early doors this season that it was a 50-50 between the two of them, a Lockett-Metcalf situation. And then all of a shot, Judy came back from injury, had one bad week, and then he kind of went fairly decent after that. So, like, Judy seems to be the one there, clear one. So
It's just they're both so bad with Russell Wilson. Like, Russell Wilson is just bad. Like, no excitement in any of this.
There has to be a point in time when Russell Wilson does come good. Like, I don't think he's just like, he's not Cam Newton where he's just done. Like, Cam had the shoulder injury, never really recovered from it. But like, Wilson hasn't had that. Like, he can't just go from being one of the best quarterbacks in the league to being one of the worst. Something has to come right with him. Like,
do you want to do a Justin Fields versus Russell Wilson this week, Shane?
No. How is that even fair? Justin Fields is playing one of the worst defenses, the worst defense in the league this week. Come back to me in a week's time. I might give you a bet then. Who's either got in a week's time?
We're definitely keeping an eye on this stuff for next week. If Russell Wilson outscores Justin Fields, this is going to be hilarious.
Week 11. I might take that in week 11.
like my head might be pretty big in week 11.
Yeah, and I will definitely take money off you then.
So like Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, like Cortland Sutton's bench, and Jerry Judy's a flex really is, or wide receiver 2 is what we're kind of saying there.
Yeah, wide receiver 2. I give Judy 2 with that.
Dulcich
Dulcich is a tight end 1 man.
straight in. Cool.
Definitely.
Indy with no coach. Well, they do have a coach. They have a radio presenter coach or whatever the hell he is.
Yeah, Mr.
against Las
Saturday.
Vegas. Oh, yeah, Mr. Saturday. He's playing on Sunday.
No, but his name is Saturday, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Mr. Saturday.
Yeah. It's like it's Jeff Saturday, no? Like it's like a made up name. It's like
Oh, it's so bad.
he's not real.
Neither is Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, like poor man. He's just like I don't even know. Does Ellinger start this weekend? Do they go back to Matt Ryan?
No, I think he's starting now. I think
I
the
never
word on
see
the street.
Ellinger.
Well,
I just know, man. Though, like there's
But surely with the change of coach, this can only be good for the likes of Pittman and Taylor. But they're going to have to go back to what they know.
Look, it's not good for Pittman because Ellinger's still there, but it should be good for Jonathan Taylor. It should be Taylor to the moon. If Taylor is playing, man should just be getting the ball every snap. I wouldn't even be giving it to Ellinger. I'd be like, we're just going to run it. We're just going to see what happens.
you sit over there, Ellinger. Right, you have a cup of tea.
Just play the Wildcat the whole game.
Taylor's good as quarterback.
It's literally just put an extra lineman in there to block.
Yeah, just play the Wildcat all game and see what happens. What is the record for most rushing attempts in a game? Because it could be beaten this weekend.
So we're saying play Jonathan Taylor if he's healthy. And go on, Shane.
This to me could be calling it early here. All the people who traded away Jonathan Taylor and got sick of waiting for his production, this to me could be the week where they all go, why the fuck did I trade away Jonathan Taylor?
Good. Yeah. If it's ever going to happen, it's probably going to be this week.
It's Deion Jackson, Jamie. Would you play him if Taylor's out?
I think you would. Yeah. If Taylor's out, I think Jackson is an awful start. He's done quite well. Well, not last week, but you have to give him his dues. They're playing the Patriots. Patriots are brilliant, like, so defensively wise, not awful. But like, also Taylor's out, I think you play Jackson, yeah.
He got hurt as well, didn't he?
Last week, did he? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he went off holding his ankle at one stage. How do I fix this for the championship? Half PPR 12 man. Cousins, Walker, Etienne, Evans, AJ Brown, Goddard, Chubb, Brian Robinson, Allen Robinson, Rashad White, Daniel Jones, Deion Jackson. How do you fix it? Like, how do you make it better, essentially? I don't know, man. That's a pretty nice lineup.
Yeah, like I would be having Walker, Etienne, Chubb auto starting for me every week. AJ Brown and Evans obviously are going to be your two receivers. Now, people seem to be moving off of DK from what we've had in the chat this week. There's a lot of DK trades. I myself traded for DK this week, and it was, I kind of got him like off of dirt, but that I gave away. So, like, I think if you could go in and trade, like, would you trade Evans for DK? I think DK's production has been more consistent and solid than what Evans brings. But Evans has the potential, I think, to have higher ceiling in his weeks. Like, that's the only thing I think I could trade.
If I was a DK, I wouldn't be going for that. Like, I'd want DK over Evans every day of the week.
Yeah,
that's the
maybe put Evans with Allen Robinson and go trade that. And maybe that'll get you DK.
I think that's overpaying, man. I think Maybe. Well, I think Evans could get you DK.
Maybe go with Evans first, and if you have to chuck in Allen Robinson, go for it. Like,
Good work, yeah.
Like, do you think if you packaged Evans, Allen Robinson, and Brian Robinson, that you could package and trade into like for one of the top 5 receivers?
I wouldn't say you much value in the two Robinsons, really, do you? And right now,
Well,
I don't
like-
think so.
Someone could be in need. Like, check out the leagues. Like, there could always be a trade to be made if someone else is struggling somewhere. Like, but like, I definitely think the only place they need to improve is a wide receiver. Like Mike Evans for me at the minute is just that little bit inconsistent. But I don't see why that team couldn't win the league out. Cousins, like, he's been consistently just average, annoyingly average.
annoyingly average.
Yeah, so maybe you try to go up for quarterback. Maybe you try to get rid of Cousins. Try to package him with, say, Ryan Robinson or Allen Robinson.
Maybe try and go and get Justin Fields.
Oh my God. Don't go get Justin Fields. Look, just don't do it.
Oh. Sorry, we'll go back to the matchup we're working on here. We were on the running back, so Jonathan Taylor, if he's healthy. If not, you can look at Deion Jackson if you're pinched. Josh Jacobs is an auto start. Like, we don't really need to discuss him. Jamie, wide receivers in Indy, where what are you doing?
well, I personally am playing him, but that's out of pure that's out of pure force.
So what you're saying is, if you're 1-7, play Pittman.
I think at this point you're with Pittman and you're just kind of living in hope. You know, you're trying to make up scenarios as to when he's actually going to come good. And to be honest, he's not going to come good at this point. You're tanked with Ellinger there. Like, I think really, if you have options, you could nearly bench him at this point. If I had other options, I would definitely bench him. Like, I don't think you want to go anywhere near those Colts wide receivers at the moment. Not Alex Pierce, not Paris Campbell. You just stay away from him. I think the only wide receiver here you're playing is Devontae Adams. Other than that,
Yeah,
that's it.
realistically, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Pittman, yeah. Like, Pittman is the only one that I would flex out of Indy, and that's just because you took him so high if you did draft him that you are playing him. But yeah, it is bleak if you are heavy on the Colts this year. Like if you have more than one player from the Colts team, you are in hell.
Yep. Maybe it turns around. And looking at Darren Waller here, the hamstring had him inactive for week 9, so just assume you don't have him again, because I think that's been basically the trend with Darren Waller.
Yeah, like it was all season. You didn't have him all season, but he was still on your team.
Taking up a nice bench spot.
He wasn't even taking up a bench spot for some people. He was starting every week and he was doing nothing.
Dallas at Green Bay. This is going
Game
to
of the
be
weekend.
Game of the weekend, my whole.
Oh, it is for me because I hopefully get to see my Cowboys kick the crap out of Jamie's Green Bay Packers.
There's no hopeful about it. Like, that's going to happen.
So it'll be so sweet.
They are fucking atrocious. Like, there is no one except for Jones and Lazard that you play on the Green Bay side. But I would play everyone on the Cowboy side here. You play Pollard, play Elliott, play Lamb, probably play Gallup. I fucking put the whole of them in. You know, there's going to be a huge score up in this for you.
Keep an eye on
Tight ends for Dallas. I'd be skeptical on playing. I don't know. Could you trust Schultz just yet?
Yeah, he's putting up a lot of strange stat lines, isn't he?
Yeah, it's he's about the only one on the Cowboys side I would be a little bit worried about. Like the rest of them, I'd happily play the rest of the Cowboys there that Jamie mentioned, and he's right. Like Lazar is the only good thing seemingly coming out of Green Bay the last couple of weeks.
Schultz had a good game against Chicago, though.
He did, yeah. No, to be fair, yeah, he did. I just off that one game, I don't know. Am I going to trust him? Like Schultz's health is a big question this year. Like he's been in and out with that knee, and it just I don't know. Hopefully he's fit coming back off the bye. That this is the week that he starts being consistently good. But
CD and Gallup, CD straight in, but Michael Gallup, I think you probably have better options, do you?
you probably do, yeah. But if look again, I wouldn't be against playing Gallup against the Packers this week. Like Gallup, they even said it in the commentary in the Chicago game. Gallup was Dak's like favorite target for deep balls, and whenever he needed a big play, he was going to Gallup at times, like for the last couple of seasons. So I would fully expect Gallup to get back up to being kind of a 10-point guy every week. It just hasn't happened yet.
Here's one: Gallup or Pittman.
Oh, Gallup. Yeah, I'm not taking Pittman.
Vegas has been really bad, but Ellinger is just so bad himself. Like,
yeah, he's free too, Jamie. If you want to waiver him as well, because like
I'm just thinking of my own head. Yeah. Like, I was like, dude, that could be a fucking.
It's a very hard choice to actually make, though. We can say it here when we don't actually have to make the choice, but like if that's sitting in front of you, it's hard to put Pittman on the bench. Like,
when you're 1-7, is it really hard to make them decisions, though?
and Tyson Hill is your flex. So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like you could just do what you like now at 1-7. Just have fun with it.
Well, no, like this is my first week now. I've Elliott back, right? So he's going to go well. So Elliott RB1.
Right. Yeah, even though he's now the RB2 in Dallas.
No, he's not. He's going to.
Yes, he is. He definitely
is. Just like I've tanked everyone else this year, someone has to come good for me. Like so don't play Samuel, right? When we get to the 49ers, and don't play Elliott because I've tanked everyone this year.
Arizona at the Rams. This is my own personal hell, both 3 and 5. Let's look at this game. Kyler Murray, he's an auto start at the quarterback position, even when it's bad. He can rush. Matthew Stafford, there's no situation anyone should play Matthew Stafford anymore. Like it's just not happening. Like for the Rams.
Would you play Stafford against the Cardinals or Lawrence against the Chiefs?
Lawrence against the Chiefs.
Lawrence, yeah.
Like Stafford has been really bad. Even the running backs in this game isn't like there's nothing blowing you away here. You probably have to play Connor if you have him, but apart from that, like I'm not going near any of these Rams running backs.
No, God no. Stay away from those Rams running backs.
The wide receivers, then there's the 2 auto starts in Hopkins and Cup. Like you don't even have to think about that. But that's like Rondale Moore, Allen Robinson.
No,
I could stick in Rondale Moore's. Yeah, I could put him in wide receiver 2 flex, but stay away from Allen Robinson. I'm done with that man since like week 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Rondale you could look Rondale's way, and he could get you 10 points to like 15 points handily enough. But Allen Robinson is just like you may as well be playing Russian roulette. Like you don't know what the hell is going to happen there, and it's probably not going to be good.
Just you could pick up a tight end off the carousel and flex the tight end, and you might end up with the same amount of points.
Like playing Allen Robinson is like playing Russian roulette, but you've filled 5 barrels.
That's called suicide, Dan. It's not called Russian roulette.
It's not a matter of if you're going to be shot. You are going to be shot.
The tight end position, Zach Ertz, like we said earlier, you're going straight forward. But Tyler Higbee is the real question. Arizona are awful against the tight end, but Tyler Higbee has seemingly been schemed out. Like he had 1 target last week.
Yeah, 1 target, no catch.
Yeah, I think you're probably better options, even though the matchup is good. But I say you probably have better options at tight end.
Like if I'm at the bottom of the barrel with tight ends, like currently I have Higby on my roster, I'll play him. But like if I can find anything better, I'm probably going to look for something better.
Yeah, Will Disley is free.
I can't play Will Disley though because there's too many tight ends.
No, Will Disley, man. And Noah Fant is free as well. One of the two. I would pick up one of the two Seattle wide or tight ends over Higby. I'd have either of the two.
I got no offense, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Noah
just
Fant had a big week, but Will Disley
Yeah.
is Mr. Consistency.
Mr. Consistent. I just don't like the fact that like he could go to either of them. Like it's just annoying. It could be either Disley or Fant. Like
It's
Fant
like,
had
I don't want to score more points than what I already am going to get this week. It's like the stupidest thing you've said all night.
but like Disley has been 1.7, 6.5, 4.2, 3.9. Like that's not what you really want from the tight end.
Consistently below average.
Yeah, you have Disney up in his pedestal. Like he's not there. Like
I don't look. Disley had this thing at the start of the season, man, where he was just very good. 11, 10, 11, and then he just went off. He was like, he didn't have another good week after that. So I was like, Will Disley, man, we're just going to stick to this one now for the season.
Which defense should I start this week for week 10? Titans defense versus the Broncos, or the Broncos defense versus the Titans, or the Saints defense versus the Steelers?
I got the Broncos.
Broncos D has been good, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been good.
Yeah,
like.
the answer to the question is the Broncos D. They're the best defense in the whole league, really, to be honest. This
The
is without
problem
Bradley
with that
Chubb,
is though.
Bradley
Yeah,
Chubb's gone.
yeah, that's where I was going to. And Derrick Henry is catching fire.
Yeah, but if Malik Willis plays, like you're going to get sacks and interceptions. Well,
they don't throw the ball. What did he throw? Like 6 times or something at the weekend? Like,
yeah. To be honest, like Saints defense versus the Steelers is off the table for me because I know Kenny's not great, but the Saints defense hasn't been that good either. So it's not really, they kind of wash. So I think I probably play the Broncos defense, to be honest.
yeah, I think out of what is listed there, I think the Broncos, you have to play them. I think the Titans in that game, the Broncos offense is so bad that the Titans are just going to control the clock. The defense is going to be on the field a lot, and they're not going to give you many chances to turn the ball over. The Titans don't turn the ball over a whole lot. So it's all about, can the Broncos keep the score low?
Which they definitely can.
Yeah. Like,
they're not going to be
watching
scoring.
Now, Derrick Henry, two first quarter touchdowns. We look like asses.
Chargers at San Francisco. Are we rolling with Justin Herbert again? I think you have to. I know it's been like really bad, but
well,
he
Keenan Allen's supposed to be back, can they? Like Allen's supposed to be back this week. Like if Allen's back, I think that can only be good for Herbert.
Supposed to be back every week for the last 7 weeks. Yeah. Be back this week, like.
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah,
when's Mike Williams back? Do we know?
Is he
4
on
weeks,
IR?
I think. Yeah, he's the minimum 4 week stint.
So disappointing for the Chargers, and they're still 5-3. In fairness, like.
Yeah, like I really thought they'd have a really good year this year, but Herbert getting hurt early on, like I still question, are his ribs as good as what they're making out to be? I still don't think he's fully healthy. And then you have no wide receiver help. Like you're basically relying on Eckler to get you wins there. And then they lost Joey Bosa too, and the defense half fell apart. So the Chargers have had a rough year, man.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler, you're starting him anyway. Like we didn't really answer that question. I'm probably playing Herbert. Like I don't think I'm going to find a better option off the waiver wire, really.
No, I think you have him. You kind of stick with him. So,
Justin Herbert or Jared Goff, like.
Yeah, you got
Herbert. Do you know what? Actually, I think Goff might be an underrated play this week.
Yeah, the Chicago defense is awful.
Yeah, like I think you probably could actually bench Herbert for the week and bring in Goff. I think Goff is a better option this week, genuinely.
That takes some cojones to make that play though. Bench.
Oh yeah, I'd never do it. Like,
Well, what I'm saying on the podcast, and I'm unbiased about it, I could definitely do it.
Yeah,
yeah,
if I don't have
like,
these
he's on my
players.
team, man. I'm telling you right now, I do not have the danglers to make that move.
No.
Austin Eckler's an auto start. Christian McCaffrey, he's good at football too.
Can't wait for him to get injured.
You've been waiting all season. You're just like
it's going to happen.
This is the week.
Yeah.
Jamie, it's your first weekend with Debo after I traded him to you.
Super excited. I should know idea. No, I should know idea. I'm actually really excited. I actually have a player who I actually think would actually play really well this week. You know, he's going to tank. But like, yeah, Debo's not a start every week, whatever happens. You know, even coming off the injury, you know, it's Debo Samuel. You're playing him, whatever happens. Favorite love matchup.
Ayuk's a flex play.
Yeah, Ayuk will be the most interesting player for me this weekend out of all of them there. Just to see, does his production stay up? Like, Debo coming back in, I kind of want to say, because Jimmy G loves Ayuk. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes this weekend.
Keenan Allen and Joshua Palmer are the wide receivers listed for the Chargers here. I'm not playing Palmer this week just because it's the San Francisco matchup. Keenan Allen, like if Keenan Allen plays, fair enough, but like, what are you expecting?
Well, I'd play Palmer over Allen this week.
Would you?
That's
probably fair enough, to be honest. Like, I'm probably actually being ridiculous there saying I wouldn't play him against San Francisco because I don't think they've been.
No, they haven't been good against the wide receiver.
I think Palmer's a good shout here. While the two boys are trying to come back. Now, once Williams and Allen come back fully, then you drop him. But for the next
I
few
think
weeks,
even once Allen has a week under him, Jamie, I think he can move off Palmer then.
Yeah. But I think this week you could definitely take Palmer.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah,
I'll backtrack there. You are correct, sir.
Thank you.
George Kittle, he's an auto start, and Everett.
Yeah, he play Everett.
Yeah. Again, like you're probably not happy about doing it, but yeah, like Gerald Everett or Tyler Higbee.
Everett.
Everett. Yeah.
They're just both so meh. Like you're not excited about either of those options, really, are you?
Yeah, except Everett hasn't laid a goose egg, and Higbee did.
I'm going to go back to Everett's full season now and find the goose egg. He had a 0.7 against Cleveland. The bye
not
got
a goose egg. You said a number there that is not a goose egg.
0.7. He almost goosed it. He got 7 yards. Let's finish off the week. Washington at Philadelphia.
Actually, he got 2 yards that week.
Sure, the half point for the reception. Washington is full of question marks here because, like, if McKissick is out again, does Antonio Gibson become an option purely because he's getting all the receiving work?
Yeah. Look, I think it's fair to play Gibson at this time. He's like mid last week, 5-point week, probably hurt you. Coming off of 2 good weeks, like playing against Philly though, like I really don't want to play anyone on Washington's offense against Philadelphia. Like that's the truth of it. Like if I can avoid playing anyone on Washington's offense, I just don't like playing against Philadelphia.
Yeah, I agree. Like you're not playing anyone on Washington side here. I don't think. Like
you could, yeah, and you could take a punt on McLaurin as well. Like other than that, though,
McLaurin or
like Goddard. Who were the Colts playing again?
The Colts are playing Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'll give me Pittman. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's an awful one.
Like,
Start, yeah.
Logan Thomas, I can't prescribe that. And then just fire up all the Eagles you've been firing up, really. Hurts, Sanders.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say about the Eagles this weekend is Chase Young is back apparently this weekend for Washington, and their D line looked really good last week without him. So like they like put a lot of hits in on Kirk Cousins last weekend. So with Chase Young back, I'd be interested to see how that D line goes. Hopefully they make bits of Jalen Hurts.
Did you see Curtis Samuel's massive reception where he kind of like, it looked like he'd scored the touchdown, but he was marked as down because I think he got a slight touch or something?
Oh, yeah. Like Eckler's one was probably the most awkward one of them for the weekend. Though. Did you see Eckler's one?
Where he fumbled it and the lineman picked it up and then fumbled it when no one touched it.
No, not even that one. The one where they threw it out to him in the flat, he got tackled and then rolled over, didn't touch the ground, it looked like, got up and ran on, scored from like 60 yards out. And then when they reviewed it, his elbow touched as he was tackled, just barely rubbed the grass.
I did see that, yeah.
I was so disgusted. I was just like, that did not deserve to be taken off the board.
So then Miles Sanders, Justin, Jalen Hurts there straight in.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, in you go. Devonta Smith, I don't even really think it's a question either. I think he kind of goes in as your wide receiver 2 straight away as well, doesn't he?
He's hurt. If you're a Devonta Smith owner this year, I think he's hurt you a lot this year, though. That's the only thing. Like, he's come up with some big weeks, but like week 1, nothing. Week 4, 3 points. Week 8, 4 points. Week 9, 3 points. Like there's 4 weeks there they've had their bye. So he's 4 good weeks and 4 bad weeks. So like it's a 50. It really is a 50-50 shot when Devonta Smith is going to play well and play bad for you. Like, so.
And he's no home and away trends either. Like, it's not like
There's only one Amari Cooper, man.
It's just complete randomness. Probably depends whether if you're playing a team that's better than you, Devonta Smith is probably a good shout.
Yeah, if they're playing a good defense, then Devonta Smith, like Washington's defense against the wide receiver has been pretty bad this year, hasn't it? Even though they looked okay last week against Minnesota, they didn't look overly bad.
So let's take a look and see what these clowns are. So Washington have been terrible against the wide receiver. Yeah, they're 26th.
Yeah, so it should be a good game for Devontae, but then you have the added problem of like Montez Sweat, Chase Young, like those guys are going to pressure Hurts. It's not going to be an easy week for Hurts this week.
Would you trade Aaron Jones for DeAndre Swift and Mike Evans? I'd probably make that trade.
Probably
How's Aaron Jones going at?
He's apparently fine. Like, scans were all good, but it's still.
No, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. But Aaron Jones. He's decent at times, but he's up and down. He'll win you weeks, but he'll also kind of cost you weeks.
He's been so inconsistent. Like, do you take the kind of 50-50 split that Swift is getting at the minute? Take those 8-10 points every week, but Mike Evans is inconsistency. Like, you're trading away an inconsistent running back who's hitting home runs of 30-point weeks, then hitting a 4-point week for a DeAndre Swift, who by the looks of it isn't the lead back anymore, and Mike Evans, who's hitting 15-point weeks and then 1-point weeks. Like, it's inconsistency for inconsistency. Like, I don't see the upside in it.
See, I think DeAndre Swift will come good once he comes off the injury proper. I think he does take down that backfield eventually. So if you're if you're going to take him, you trade him now.
Yeah, look, especially if it's dynasty, I could see taking Swift straight away. He's the younger running back. there's more upside in him there. There's less. Well, no, there's not actually less options in Detroit at the minute. There's sadly actually probably more options in Detroit than what Green Bay have.
There is, yeah.
That'll bring us to the end of our rundown of the matchups anyway. So we'll just quickly look at the dynasty trade of the week.
Yeah.
And then we'll
There's one
finish
more
up.
question there as well, Dan, if you want to go to that.
Cool. Well, we'll do the trade and we'll do that just to close us off. Then.
Bet that snack pack's pretty good. Want to trade me the rest of it for this banana? You know how badly I can beat you, right?
We actually haven't done this segment in a little while.
No.
This trade here is kind of like
Tell the leagues to start trading more.
There's been loads of trades. I just haven't been putting them in, to be honest. I've been lazy. But
At least you're honest.
But this wasn't actually like the highest profile trade. It was kind of more just the most interesting trade to me. So it's in League 107. Trebs has added Alec Pierce, a 2024 third round and a 2024 fourth round for Chase Claypool. This was 6 days ago, so this would have been just before the trade deadline, I imagine. Or was it on the day of the trade deadline? Probably on the day of the trade deadline, just after Claypool had gone to the Bears. Yes, because he's got Chicago below him there. But I think that's really interesting to get Claypool for like that kind of price.
Seems
Yeah,
like
like
a lot, doesn't it?
No, it seems like nothing.
So I think so.
Seems like that's how split everyone is on Claypool. That like to Shane that seems like nothing, and to Jamie that seems like a lot.
Well, look, Claypool's bedding into a new team. He's a great red zone threat. This year he has been bad, but last year Claypool had his moments. And Justin Fields doesn't have a whole lot of options. He's eventually going to get spied in every game. He's not going to be able to just run. Justin Fields is not a better runner with the ball than Lamar Jackson. And teams find ways to slow down Lamar. He's going to have to throw it at some point. He needs wide receivers. To me, Claypool is going to probably end up as the number one there. I think it's very little. You could have asked for more.
I agree. He probably will be the one. Well, he's going to be one of the Bears. Who feels who can't really throw the ball that well. I think, there's an upside here. He could definitely you could shoot the moon with this trade, definitely 100%. I know why Alex Pearson or you get rid of him. Doesn't matter. You can pick him up on waivers, but if Claypool does not do as well as we think he's going to do, that third and fourth round is going to seem very high. It's a toss of a coin. You could definitely be right. I could be right. I just don't trust him on the Bears if he is now at this point in time.
I think I'd rather have the shot at him being fantasy relevant again than a third and fourth round pick.
Yep, that's fair enough.
In Dynasty, Alec Pierce is probably a decent player to have. The Colts can't be bad forever.
They just hired a guy whose last name is Saturday. They're going to be awful. There's only one relevant player. And you have him on your team, so stop worrying. Yeah.
Who, me? Pittman?
No, not you.
Question in the chat: trade Josh Allen for Chase and Tua or Geno?
Nope. I am not trading Josh Allen. He is
Did you get Jamar
too
Chase?
good. No,
You get Jamar Chase.
It depends on wide receivers you have, I think. And if you badly need a wide receiver, I think it's not a bad trade.
Yeah, look, all right, I'll give it that. If you have no wide receiver 1 on your team, no wide receiver 2 on your team, I'll make the trade. But if I have the remnants of a wide receiver 1 and 2, I am keeping Josh Allen.
I think Allen for chasing Tua is not a bad. That's not too bad. If you do need him, I agree with you. You hold on to Josh Allen as much as you can, but if you need that wide receiver, I don't think it's a bad trade.
I think if Lazar and Jacoby Myers are my wide receivers, 2 guys who are consistently hitting 10 points a week, I am not giving Josh Allen up for Tua, who is a 30-point to a low 20-point guy a week, where Josh Allen can just be a 50-point a week guy. Like, I'm just not making that trade. I have enough points at wide receiver if I have two guys who are consistently at 10. Now, if I have two guys who are at 4s and 5s and I'm absolutely ass at the wide receiver position, then yeah, I will trade for Chase. But other than that, I'm not doing it.
Or borrow for Chase.
Yeah, click. If that is an option, take that right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
If you have Josh Allen, trade away Joe Burrow.
Even going back to the like if I have Josh Allen and I can get it's super flex. Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, so it's 2 QB. I don't in super flex. I'm not giving up Josh Allen for anything.
No, not a hope.
No.
Interesting though. It is interesting, but in super flex, I'm not giving him up. All right, that brings us to the end of the show. That was
I in Superflex, I would still trade away Joe Burrow though for Chase, and I would just pick up another quarterback, someone who is hopefully still out there on the waiver wire somewhere.
It'd be super thin in a Superflex league, though. It's the only thing.
Surely someone is there. Like at that point, do you take the punt on Russell Wilson? Do you trade Burrow for Chase and take the punt on Russell Wilson? He's surely free at this stage.
If it's Superflex and every team, say 12 teams, both have to have 2 quarterbacks, so 24 quarterbacks are gone, and then every team is probably holding a third one. So you're probably like 36 quarterbacks deep.
Oh, hang on. Look, he's another offer there. Yeah, I'd make that trade too.
Well,
Burrow and Zeke for Chase and Geno.
Oh yeah, I think
I'd do that too.
Yeah, I'd be happy for Burrow and Zeke for Chase and Geno. Like Geno will get you by fine. Like, and if you have Josh Allen as your other quarterback in a 2 quarterback league, yeah.
Especially with the weapons Geno has, he's been performing excellently. Nobody thought he would. He's the story of the year.
Anyway, I'm going to start playing the outro music. So thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for all the questions in the live stream. Our Twitter handles are at DanFFman, at Shane953, and at JimJamTheMonk. And then our podcast Twitter page is at IF Punts. And then like and subscribe on YouTube. See, I got them all that time, Shane.
Well done, Dan.
And guys, be sure to check in on Sundays before game time. We have running kind of thing going between all of us with our game picks every week. And we do our bowl predictions of the weekend too.
Which we got 2 right this year. Lads.
Three actually.
Three. Yes.
Dan got 2, didn't he? So, yeah, feel free to send us on your bowl predictions on Twitter.
Oh, just Sunday.